Hey, and welcome back to Talk of Better Worlds. I'm SirFelixTheCat, and this is The Blender. Alright, so today I kind of want to take a look at, instead of just focusing on like a type of IP, like video games or a form of media, like video games or movies, books, something like that, I kind of wanted to group them all into one big thing. And I wanted to take a look at a different type of tier list, one that we don't normally do. I wanted to look at more of like a X and Y graph and go over post-apocalyptic scenarios, or apocalyptic scenarios, I should say, and basically go over a couple different ways. So still set up kinda. So we have likely for a likely scenario that could happen. We have not likely, of course, means not likely to happen. We're also going to put survivability. Could survive, and no survival, or I should say low survival. And these are going to be a little picky. When I say could survive and low survival, I kind of mean that what are the odds of like a well-equipped person surviving this? Because there's certain things you just can't prepare for, and you can try all you like, but eventually you will just get caught. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into this. I already have some icons down at the bottom, and we're just going to go straight up in order. And yeah, you'll see there's a couple that are somewhat similar, like you have the Matrix and you have some other AI. We'll get into that and break them down. It'll be fun. All right. So first up, we have an alien invasion. And now, an alien invasion, you have to think of this more of like not just Independence Day, but also think of signs. Think of all the many types of alien invasions. I mean, heck, it could be a predator type invasion. And if that's the case, you're screwed. You're just absolutely screwed. Same with just if it was alien. If the aliens come here, the xenomorphs come, you're toast. So I'm going to put all the scenarios into one for this instead of breaking them apart, or else we'd have like 15 different tiers on this. So, alien invasion, I'm actually going to put it for low survival, and I'm going to put it on the side of likely. Not extremely likely, but likely. And the reason why is we still do have this big belief in a group of people. It's the, Hawk would know the name better than me. It's something Forest, where we're out here, and we're like actual humans. We're out here and we're sending messages out into space. We're shooting out like discs that have information and all this stuff. We're sending out radio signals, trying to see what's out there. And I think it's Dark Forest. That sounds right. But basically, to sum it all up, you would have all these other alien races out there that could possibly be out there. But they're not doing what we're doing. Possibly because they know there is a threat larger than any one of them can take on. It's kind of Mass Effect kind of touches on that too. Like they slowly creeped out to each other. They didn't want to get too big because there were always rumors of this super annihilating race out there, the Reapers. And yeah, we could be looking at that. We don't know if there's life out there. If you want to go biblically, then yeah, we're the only life that exists. Whatever, I don't care. But I want to say there is possibly a chance there is other life out there, because the odds of us being the only ones, like the only planet with life like this, just seems outrageously low when there's just billions and billions and just an infinite amount of planets. We don't even know how many planets there actually exist out in space. Just be an insane amount that we can never count in our whole lifetime. Look at games like No Man's Sky is generated, but there's games out there that show you how big and vast space could be. And to say that we're the only ones, I think is kind of small-minded. You could think whatever you want. You could put this on not likely if you wanted to. But the survival rate, if one of those races did come to us, like that's one way to look at it, is if this race is advanced enough to come to us from space, they could wipe us out. Like they're way more advanced than we are at this moment. Like if they came today, we're screwed. Like it's donezo. Now, I like to be like, oh, well, maybe it's like Mass Effect or Star Ocean, and they're coming to recruit us because what are humans good at? We're good at destruction. That's that's just what it is. But yeah, for me, it's going to be low survival and likely. It could possibly happen. Not saying it's guaranteed. All right, the next one. Nuclear apocalypse. Like nuclear war, let's just say it's World War III, Russia, China, every other country plus us, we launch our nukes. And it's just all out Armageddon. This one, you're going to be surprised by this. But one, it's likely. I mean, to be honest, it's very likely. Could survive? Yeah. Yeah, radiation would be terrible. I mean, if it's extreme radiation, like if you've ever read the book On the Beach, this is a book that takes place in Australia. And basically World War III happened. Everybody launched their nukes. And it focuses around these people who are in Australia, and they know this wave of radiation is coming down the map, and basically it's going to cover the whole Earth. Australia is basically the last place with life. And they're just living out their days, like trying to cope with the fact that, yeah, soon we're going to be dead. Like there's nothing we could do. We're soon going to be dead. And I think that's quite beautiful. Sorry about that. And yeah, I think that as long as we don't have that rate of radiation, which is very highly likely, it could happen. But if it doesn't happen that way, it's more like if you've ever seen the show Jericho, where a bunch of nukes drop off and all this stuff across the country, people do survive. You can survive as long as you're thinking, as long as you have people there who can help you understand what's going on. And if you're a doomsday prepper, you're pretty well off. You understand some of the basics of this. So yeah, likely and could survive. That's how I feel about that one. Next we have more of a wasteland type situation, not like post-apocalyptic video game wasteland, but all water has dried up, or most water has dried up. There's few oases, and all elements of the earth are just basically gone. Like they're donezo. There's no more. Could survive? No. I think you might survive for a little while, but what is left, like for water and stuff, it's gonna go. It's gonna go. Do I think it's super likely? I mean, we could get to that point. Basically be like global warming, climate change, whatever you want to call it. That kind of situation, we are going through stuff. We're eventually going to lose our forests. So, I mean, yeah, it's on the likely side. I'm actually going to put kind of in the middle. It could happen. I don't want to say yes or no. There's a lot of things that could impact this. Plus, if we have like the glaciers that thaw and all this stuff, we're going to get a flood of water and it's going to change it up a little bit. So I'm going to put it more on the not likely side. But again, you're losing all resources. Once you have water gone, we're screwed. Like this planet is screwed. So yeah, I mean, not only do we need water, we eat meat. Those animals need water. We eat plants. We eat vegetables. They need water. We eat fish. What do they live in? Loss of water is kind of death for us. Unless we make some contraption like in Dune, where their suit can like suck up water and all that stuff. But I don't see that being a thing. And I mean, if we make it, the rich are going to hoard it and sell it to us for like $10 billion. Kind of like if you want to get a Trump gold card to become a immigrant, a legal immigrant. It's ridiculous. That's kind of what it would turn into, especially since we're seeing an oligarchy going on. Anyways, next we have, I don't know, have you ever seen Snowpiercer? If you haven't, definitely go watch that movie. It is the most savage post-apocalyptic movie I could think of, because it's a different take. It's the world's frozen over, like to the point where you walk out there, you will freeze solid in just a matter of minutes. Like death, it's instant death when you're out there. And yeah, definitely go check that one out. It's got Chris Evans in it. It's his best Captain America role he ever did, and it's really quite a twist. And there's a bunch of theories that actually go into like it's a sequel to Willy Wonka, which you got to look that up after you watch the movie. It's fantastic. Anyways, yeah, so we have the world freezing. I don't think this is likely. I don't think that's going to be a thing. Yes, we do get colder with the climate change and all that, especially like the winters. I don't know if you guys noticed, it gets super unbearable. I'm out here on the east coast of the United States, and it gets nasty cold. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and put this on the not likely side. I'm not saying it's extremely unlikely, not like it's nuclear apocalypse likely. But yeah, so it's going to be little less likely than losing all resources on Earth. And could survive? Yes, we do have ways we could survive this. Would it be simple? Would it be easy? No, it's going to be super hard. That's why it's going to kind of go up like the top of could survive, like, or I guess what you want to call it. I'd say this is like more could survive is down here. So you have a okay, somewhat of a chance to survive. We'll go with that. And then let's see. We have the pandemic, a great pandemic wiping us out. We have a lot of smart people out there. I'm going to put this on not as likely, unless we just go full-blown stupid, like get rid of every medical person on this planet who could possibly save us, or if they go first. If they go first, then yeah, obviously we're screwed. But I think we have a okay chance of surviving this. So could survive? Yes. Likely? Yeah. I mean, we could have a big pandemic come out. We saw what C-19 did to everybody. That really shook the world. And we've had other great plagues. We had the bubonic plague. That one did quite a bit of damage. It's likely. It's likely. All right, I'm going to kind of... Oh, I can't slide it over like that. Okay, so I'm skipping some. We are going to go to the first of the AI taking over. This one is more like if we get robot assistants, and it's their AI. They kind of have a hive mind. I mean, I guess all AI kind of has a hive mind to an extent, but these are like super hive mind AI. Likelihood of this, unfortunately, because of the advancements we're making, is there, but it doesn't like we're going that route. We're going more of a route of every AI would be an individual of sorts, which is super weird. I don't know if you've seen this going around, but currently in the news, they're trying to get us all to have our own personal AI assistant. Which, I mean, yeah, that could be kind of cool. The weird thing is, say you're planning an outing. You ask your AI to schedule something with your friend Jenny. And what's going to happen is your AI, like your Jarvis, is going to go and talk to Jenny's, I don't know, Blammo AI. And they're going to speak to each other in, I think it's called like gibber speak or something like that. And it's weirdest, freakiest noise ever. It sounds like, I don't know. I was hoping it would sound more like the old AOL dial-up tone. Unfortunately, it's not that. It's a bunch of like weird screeching and stuff, but they talk to each other. And like they actually have conversations, which is super bizarre. But anyways, this one is more like a hive mind one. I don't think it's likely because of that. I'm not going to put it fully in not likely. It's kind of on the edge, more on the unlikely side, because like I said, we're going for a different type of AI. So it's going to go there. It could survive? Unfortunately, no. If AI starts to take over, we're pretty much screwed. And we're walking that way to where, you know, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. We're going to get ourselves screwed with AI. Next is the Matrix, which is another AI, but it's more of the one I was talking about where they're more individual in thought. They can communicate, they can understand each other, but they all do have their own thought process. Think of the agents when they're doing stuff. You can have an agent actually pull you aside and talk to you separate from these other ones. They're not exactly hive mind. They can communicate with each other so they know what's going on, what they tell each other, but they're not reading each other's thoughts. This is the route, crazy enough, that we're going. We're going like scary AI. Likely? Yes, it's a little more likely than the other one because of that. And yeah, it's a low survival. I mean, there's things we could do. We could just completely get rid of all electronics. That's going to be super hard. It's a bunch of EMPs, and we're going to be resetting ourselves to the Stone Age. Like, we're going to go back in the day where we didn't have TVs, radios, any of that stuff. And we'd have to slowly rebuild after making sure there's no trace of electronics left over. Because any one of them left over, it could be inside that machine, and we're screwed. Like, it could just rebuild itself. And yeah, I do watch a lot of sci-fi and stuff like that. So likely, it's a lot more likely than the other one. And survival, it's probably... We could have some fight on our side, but I don't see that being as likely. I mean, that's where I think fantasy comes into it. If we give them their own personalities, we might have more. So yeah, it's more likely than the other one. It's not 100% guaranteed. So it's like, you see, it's just a little bit over the line. Anyways, yeah, it's another low survival rate one. It's bad. You have, like, actually, you know what? Let me reverse these. Let me reverse that. Because if you do have some that think for themselves and they do want to be friends with you, then hey, you might have an ally in the independent thinking one. Hive mind, you're just screwed. They're going to communicate with each other. You're done. You're donezo. And then we have a bunch of different zombie ones for the end. I actually don't know what this IP is, so I'm just going to call it like the Resident Evil type zombies. Just so we're clear there. But we're going to start with World War Z. These zombies, I don't think are super likely. Would you survive? God, no, dude. No way. No way are you surviving World War Z zombies. Like, I'm sorry, you're toast. You are absolute toast. Those things are stupid fast. They're durable. And yeah, I don't know if you ever watched the movie or played the game. It's insane. Definitely go check that out. Definitely go check it out. Walking Dead. You are more likely to survive this. I don't know if you've watched The Walking Dead. I get irritated when someone dies to like a small group of zombies. It's like there are things you can do. You see Michonne walking around with swords. And she does just fine. Just fine. There are things you can do to survive. The hardest part is going to be sleeping. You're going to want to be in a group so you can have like take turns sleeping. Preferably like 4 people so you all get like decent amount of rest. But yeah, this one, I think if you have a couple good people with you, you can survive. I don't think it's going to be much of a problem. As for likely, I think it's more likely than World War Z. It would also have to kind of be tied into like a plague or something like that causes it. Or, that's really the only thing I think of is it's like a plague. It's going to go on like the halfway. It's probably going to be the only zombie one that I think is on a halfway. Even though the next one we're going to get into a little bit. But could survive? Yeah. Yeah. I don't think that would be as bad as it happened in Walking Dead. You'll have stupid people, but that's about it. So the next one we have, they're showing the creatures from Last of Us. And this is a different type of zombie. It's similar to the pandemic one, but this is a fungal created zombie. A fungus that mutates people. This one, it can happen. We've seen it with other things. I can't remember exactly what it was, but there was something in like cat litter that could cause like a zombie-ish type mutation, which I thought was wild. So yeah, it's going to be on the more likely side and could survive. If it's like The Last of Us, no, they were way too wild. So it's going to be a in between. Let's just say in between, and more likely than The Walking Dead. Yeah. It is like scientifically more likely than The Walking Dead. But you're mainly toast. Mainly toast. All right. And then, like I said, I'm just going to make this one Resident Evil because I don't know what the heck they're trying to show me there. So, could you survive? No. First off, you're done. Especially if there's like the crazier ones. Like you see in the later Resident Evils after they got past like 1 and 2, or I guess even 2 started, whatever the big guy was. But like Nemesis, stuff like that, or in like 4 or 5 when like you pop off their heads and like the crazy bladed whips come out, you're done. Like we are screwed. It's not as bad as World War Z, but we're screwed. And is it likely? Not really. Not really. It would have to be like a super extreme terrorist pandemic type thing. And really, I think terrorist pandemic things we're going to kind of get under control to a point. And I don't think anybody's going to do something that they know is just going to backfire. Unless you have someone who's like, let's say Elon Musk was a crazy rich scientist. Like, okay, he's crazy rich. Let's say he was, and he's crazy. Let's say he was a scientist. Like he was brilliant and wanted to doom the world. Then yeah, he could possibly pull it off because he has all the money in the world. But I don't think anybody else is going to do it. So I'm going to put it on super unlikely. But very low survival. Like that's absolute toast. There's no more left. And yeah, that's kind of what I have. Like, you have the low survival and not likely, which those all make sense. Let's move that a little more over. Yeah, you have the matrix, which you're still screwed, but you have some help. Is it likely? It could happen. Keep it on the edge though, because you never know. Things could twist. You have the pandemic guys, the fungal virus, whatever you want to call them. It could happen, and it's pretty low survival. I don't want to... It should actually be same place as that, pretty much. I just don't want to cover it up. So, in case you want to see it finished, that's it. But then we're covering up Keanu Reeves, and that's not fair. So we're going to put it like that. There you go. He's peeping out over top of him. Aliens, of course, that's toast. Lack of resources, we're pretty much toast. The granddaddy of them all, nuclear apocalypse, we're screwed. And yeah, that is how I feel about, apocalypse. So yeah, let me know what you think about this. If you watch this, thank you. Let me know what you think. And until next time, you take care. Hey, thanks for watching.
Give us a like if you enjoyed it, and dislike it if you didn't.
Let us know what you think about the channel.
And don't forget to subscribe.
Tell your mom.